Hello, my name is Adam House, and I am a retired disabled United States Army veteran. I'm a combat veteran of the Global War on Terror, having deployed with the 173rd Airborne Brigade Combat Team in Operation Enduring Freedom 7 and 8 to Afghanistan. I've also been a street level activist for over 30 years, going all the way back to when I was a teenager, handing out flyers, posting stickers, and doing various work as an activist, as a young Republican. Also, in 1996, as a college student, I was taking carloads of my fellow college students to the polls to vote for Bob Dole, Jack Kemp in the 96 presidential election. Since then, I have been a phone banker. I have been a door to door knocker. I have been a street level protester. I have been a pamphleteer. I have donated money to many different campaigns. I have been a mail, a letter writer, an email sender. Um, I have been a phone caller. I've called the switchboards in D.C. many times. My local representatives and different officials within the government. I've been active, people. I believe that Americans need to be active. This constitutional republic does not work unless we have an active citizenry who are ready, willing, and able to stand up and speak out and be involved in the political process. Now, I am no longer a Republican. I left the Republican Party in 2008 after George Bush, and at the time, the next Republican candidate for president, John McCain, supported the bank bailouts during the 2008 housing crisis. Um, I went to the Libertarian Party and voted mostly Libertarian since then, and I left the Libertarian Party in 2022 when the Mises Caucus took over and the Libertarian Party mostly went the same route as the current Republican Party. I've never been a Democrat. I'm still not a Democrat. I have only voted for a handful of Democrats in my entire life, but I did vote for Kamala Harris in 2024. But over the course of my life, I voted for many more Republicans than I ever have Democrats. I've voted for many more Libertarians than I ever have Democrats. And I say all that to say this. Um, Talking about the No Kings protest tomorrow, Speaker of the House, Republican Mike Johnson, has called this a Hate America rally. I would like to point out to Speaker Johnson that a No Kings branded rally is something that could have come straight out of the Tea Party movement, of which I was a part, by the way. At the time that the Tea Party movement came into existence, I did podcasts for the Tea Party movement. I networked for the Tea Party movement. I took some of my fellow soldiers to the 828 Restoring Honor rally that Glenn Beck did in Washington, D.C. I was there for that. I have been on the ground for the Tea Party, but I also went to some Occupy Wall Street demonstrations and at least networked with other people who were there that were trying to bring up issues and talk about our way forward. The point that I want to make is that a Tea Party rally, a No Kings rally, is something that could have come straight out of the Tea Party movement. That branding of No Kings, something that could have come straight out of the Tea Party movement. I remember back then we were taking, people were wearing like the old colonial hats on their heads and dressing up like colonial soldiers and so anyway, Mike Johnson, you're full of shit. Everybody can see you. Everybody knows that you're a fake, that you're a phony. you think you're hiding and nobody really understands who you are or what you are, but believe me, you're transparent enough. We can see right through you. We see what a fake and phony and unpatriotic, American hating piece of shit that you really are. I also want to use this video as the main purpose of this video actually is a call to action. I am inviting all of my fellow activists to attend a No Kings rally tomorrow, Saturday, October the 18th, 2025. There are enough No Kings rallies happening around the country that you should be able to find one within a reasonable distance of your home, wherever you are, to be able to be in attendance. I think it's vitally important that we all get out there. So, again, this is a lifelong activist call to activism. All of my fellow activists, I know we get involved in many different issues over the years. I've been involved in everything from trying to shut down illegal highway checkpoints conducted by police officers unconstitutionally, to ending the war on drugs and abolishing various government programs that are unconstitutional or somehow don't really serve the public interest. Involved in everything from trying to promote responsible spending, in government and community activism. It's not always political or government related. Sometimes it's good just to be an activist on the ground in your community. Feed and shelter the homeless, help the illiterate to become literate, and all the other issues that we ground level activists tend to get involved in our lives. Right now, I don't want to minimize the importance of any or all of those things, but I want to point out that tomorrow, Saturday, October 18th, 2025, No Kings protest may very well turn out to be the largest and one of the most important mass mobilization protests in American history. We are living through our history-making moment right now. And honestly, I'll put it this way. Honestly, if you're not attending a No Kings rally tomorrow, do you even activist, bro? Do you even activist, bro? All right, 20 years from now, you will want to be able to look back on this, and regardless of any other activism you may have ever engaged in your life, you will want to be able to say, I was there. I was in attendance. I was on the ground. I was speaking out. I was making, with my physical presence and with my voice, I was making it abundantly clear that I do not support this current administration, this regime that is trying to subvert the Constitution and replace the Constitution with the rule of a dictator. All right, the reasons that we need to do this. It's vitally important because we have a president currently in office who is a convicted felon. He was convicted of 34 felonies. He also is a sexual assaulter and abuser who was found liable in a court of law for those illegal actions. He's also a traitor to this country. He is a literal terrorist, and I don't say that hyperbolically. I mean it literally. He is a terrorist. He refused to concede the 2020 election loss that he had against Joe Biden, and he used the big lie to foment an insurrection against the Constitution in the United States and against we the American people. And in that capital insurrection that he fomented and his other attempts to effect a coup against the Constitution of the United States, that day, January 6th, people did die. And in the immediate days after that, people did die as a result of that event. All of that is laid at the feet of the current president of the United States. So he is a literal terrorist. People have died because of his immoral, unethical, illegal actions against the Constitution and against the American people. Donald Trump is also a murderer. And again, I don't mean that hyperbolically. I mean that literally. He's already conducted at least 5 targeted strikes on the high seas. It's murder on the high seas where he's blowing up these boats, extrajudicial killings on the high seas that he is responsible for. So we have an emergency situation right now. We have an emergency situation. The current president also has a militarized, masked up, unidentified secret police in the streets of America, kidnapping people off the streets. It's not just the worst of the worst illegal immigrants. It's also legal immigrants. It's also American citizens, even to include veterans, combat veterans who have served this country, put their life on the line and served this country in war, have been scooped up by these militarized secret police thugs that are acting as modern-day lynchers or Gestapo for this criminal Trump regime. This creates an emergency situation for the American people. Also because the Republican Party as it is today is evil. It is filled with hypocritical, corrupt, dishonest, evil people who have embraced authoritarianism. Many of them have embraced outright fascism, and some of them are literal Nazis. This has got to stop. Unfortunately, on the other side, and I told you, I've never been a Democrat, but I would hope that at least when the Republicans would get this far out of control, that the Democratic side of things, that party would serve as a check and balance on the Democratic or on Republican authoritarianism. Unfortunately, we have a Democratic Party who is filled with absolute spineless cowards who are mostly do-nothing, performative hypocrites. So, one of our 2 major parties, we've got one that's evil authoritarian and the other one that is feckless, spineless cowards. That leaves only one option for the American people, and that is the American people. So not only am I calling on all of my fellow activists to lay aside all of your other activism in this moment for at least one day and get out into the streets on No King's Day and protest this criminal regime of the Trump administration. But all of my fellow Americans, we are all citizens in this fight. We are all affected by what is going on. And if your life has not been individually, specifically affected by this regime yet, it will be. It will eventually be. All right, so all of us are responsible for the country that we have going forward. All of us are responsible for being involved because we don't believe in being under the rule of a king. We don't believe in being under the rule of a despot or a tyrant. Reread the Declaration of Independence today. This is not a country under authoritarian rule. It was never meant to be that. This was always meant to be a country of, by, and for we, the people. In other words, we can't wait on a king or a leader or anybody else in positions of power, authorities, officials, political leaders. We can't wait on them to do this. We, the American people, are responsible for this. It is time for we, the people, to step up into our appropriate position of power and assert our rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as constitutional American citizens who are ready, willing, and able to stand up to authoritarianism, to tyranny, to despotism, and reclaim our rightful spot as a country that is run by the rule of law and not the rule of a dictator. It is time for us to assert ourselves, my fellow Americans. And so again, I'm calling on everybody, get out into the streets tomorrow. Saturday, October the 18th, 2025, attend a No Kings protest near you. We need mass mobilization like we have never seen in modern American history. It's time to do it, folks. It's time to stand up. History is calling to all of us to be the America that we want to be, that we need to be, where everybody can be here. Red, yellow, black, white, brown, whatever. All of us are belong to this country. Christian, Hindu, Muslim, Jew, Buddhist, whatever your religious background, maybe you're a Satanist, maybe you have no religion. It doesn't matter. All of us belong in this constitutional republic where there is freedom of religion, where we are all to be treated equally under the law, where we are all supposed to come under the rule of law and be equal under it. It is our time, my fellow Americans. Get out into the streets. Rise, rally, resist. Fuck Trump. Fuck ICE. Sic semper tyrannis. I will see you at No Kings.